You're hearing Diddy everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any kind of run-in with Diddy? Did you ever do anything with Diddy? Any projects you worked
Yeah,
on
he's
with them?
produced a few records, or had his producers do a few records on my One Piece album, Peace. He's cool. I think we did some great music. I really lost contact with him when he stopped, dealing with Puffy around 94. They was doing their thing, I was doing. And, I'm not the partying type. You know what I mean? I ain't never been to a Diddy party.
Well, it starts in the home. If the father's not in the home, the boy will find the father in the streets. I saw it in my generation and every generation before me and everyone since. It starts in the home. The streets raise you, then the judge becomes your mother, and prison becomes your home.
When they do the movie, and they will do the movie of the Ratcliffe Thomas story, who in Hollywood would play you?
I pride myself on being a quick responder and being quick with it, but you hit me with a stumper, bro. No.
Denzel to come
Yeah, let's pull Denzel off the bench.
No, man, no, too old.
Ice Cube just dropped a bombshell, and this time it's not about Diddy. It's about Denzel Washington. In a recent interview, Cube pulled back the curtain on Hollywood's power structure, claiming that Denzel is seen as a real threat to the elites. But why? What makes him so dangerous in their eyes? According to Ice Cube, the industry doesn't take kindly to those who think for themselves. And if there's one person who has always stood firm in his values, it's Denzel. As a two-time Academy Award winner with countless iconic roles and an unshakable reputation, he's Hollywood royalty. Yet, unlike many in his position, he never became a puppet for the elite. Ice Cube kicked off the discussion by reflecting on his own past experiences with Diddy, shedding light on the deeper forces at play in the entertainment industry.
Diddy. You're hearing Diddy everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you ever have any kind of run-in with Diddy? Did you ever do anything with Diddy? Any projects you worked on with them?
He produced a few records, or had his producers do a few records on my One Piece album, Peace. Yeah.
How was he to work with?
It was cool. He gave us great music. We flew out to New York. I was mainly in the studio with the producer. He had a stable of producers, so I was in the studio with his stable of producers, and I think we did some great music. I really, lost contact with him and really stopped, dealing with Puffy around 94.
Any specific reason?
Yeah, they was doing their thing, I was doing mine. And, I'm not the partying type. You know what I mean? I ain't never been to a Diddy party. I ain't never really wanted to go, but I don't go to a lot of people's parties. That just ain't what I'm in for. You've been the one, you've been to them.
Are you surprised at what things are coming out with Diddy at all, or you like you have no idea? It's none of my business. You'll live long. Kind of like the mindset.
I'm surprised. How could you be surprised with anything that happens in hip hop? Hip hop is the Wild West. You're gonna have the good, you're gonna have the bad, you're gonna have the ugly.
You think he's being targeted, or some of the stuff he's got, there's credibility on what they're coming after him with the tapes and the feds and raiding his Miami home, his LA home?
I believe he's being targeted.
You believe he's being targeted?
Yeah. I believe, somebody, has the power to pull the trigger to make, this stuff, this domino effect.
Okay. All right. So you think he's being targeted. So you don't think, Shook said, you can say what you want about Diddy, but Diddy didn't learn to like young boys. He learned it from a man named Clive Davis. He threw Clive Davis in there. It doesn't sound like you're part of that camp. You're part of the camp that you think he's being targeted.
I don't know enough to even be able to be specific on any of this stuff. It's just all speculation. I just know he was cool up until a point, and then this stuff started happening. So I believe somebody, like I said, yo, he's our new guy. We on this year or whatever.
Almost 4 years rocking the mic. And I'm gonna tell you right now, me and Dub C ain't never been to a Diddy party, mother. Thank God. You ain't gotta worry about us on them mother stage.
According to Ice Cube, Denzel is a threat to the Hollywood elite because he never played by their rules. He never felt the need to be part of their inner circle, avoided the industry's dark side, and most importantly, walked away from Diddy's infamous parties. While many A-listers remained entangled in whatever shady activities took place at those events, Denzel had the audacity to leave and never look back.
Sean Diddy Combs once got into an argument with Denzel Washington during a party. According to a new report, the altercation took place during an all-night affair he was attending with his wife, Pauletta Washington, in 2003. An insider who was allegedly close with the Oscar winner told Us Weekly that Denzel screamed, quote, "You don't respect anyone," at Diddy. Denzel and Pauletta reportedly witnessed something so offensive that it caused them to storm out of the event. Diddy is infamous for his wild bashes, which have been attended by Leonardo DiCaprio, Sarah Jessica Parker, Ashton Kutcher, and more stars over the years. But the parties have recently come under scrutiny in the wake of Diddy's arrest on trafficking, racketeering, and charges. It appears that what happens at Diddy's parties doesn't always stay at Diddy's parties.
We're having a new person come out of the woodwork every day with new allegations against him.
There was a report today or yesterday, I think it was yesterday, that Denzel Washington was seen shouting at Diddy upon leaving one of Diddy's parties, "You don't respect anyone," that he and his wife had clearly seen something that disturbed them. And now there are reports that the next big name to go down in this scandal is Jay-Z. And I do think this story is only going to continue to get bigger. And I kind of think, you can't prove a negative, but I think it's extremely odd that people who have known Diddy, collaborated with him, partied with him, dated him, cough, cough, J-Lo, have nothing to say.
It's so funny because Denzel always told me, we'd be at the parties, he said, you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there. Okay? And when he would say that, I will always remember that Denzel would leave the parties early. I follow Denzel out. I'm out. You see what I'm saying? Because when you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there, there ain't nothing wrong with going to the parties. Even Christ party with the sinners. You know what I mean? But when you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there, you able to have your integrity. I meant off screen. It's not what you do on screen. What you do off screen is more important. I've never ever had to sell my body spiritually for any roles. God covered me, and never have any studio head came on to me or I know that happens in the industry. Never had that happen to me. When I got the audition for my films, I read, I prayed, I fasted.
Fake Denzel has always been a man of culture and strong convictions, believing that family and upbringing are the true foundations of character. Unlike many in Hollywood, he has never wavered in his values, consistently emphasizing integrity and respect. Whether on screen or in his personal life, Denzel carries himself with a rare dignity, one that sets him apart in the industry.
Family is important to you. Why is family so important to society?
The universal stems from the specific, so I'll talk about my family. I have a God-fearing, loving, faithful wife who has taught me so much about family. I'm from Broken Up. Seeing her consistency in really running the household while I'm out hunting, and understanding the importance of family, and I protect her, I love her, and I provide for her. And $800, but that's my job. But they talk about the roles we have. No, but that doesn't mean one role is more important. Yes, I'm the breadwinner, but my children are winners because of why, type of house she's established in our
So she's
type of home she is.
yeah, so she's a nurturer. But
Yes.
you play an important role because you subscribe to traditional family in terms of the mom, the dad, husband, wife, and you talk about your own brokenness and woundedness that you came from. And many men are broken, suffering from either absentee father or not a great relationship with their father. And there are many men, tens of thousands of men who are going to be watching this, who look at you and the work that you've done in films, and you become a hero, and heroes are important to us. They elevate us, they inspire us, they give us hope. But there's a common theme about manhood that comes through your films. An expression of redemption, sacrifice, salvation, liberation. Is that intentional?
March 27th, 1975, a prophet named Ruth Green prophesied that I would travel the world and preach to millions of people. I had flunked out of college. I was in my mother's beauty shop, and she kept looking at me in the mirror. And every time I looked up, she was looking at me. So she wrote it down. I said, I've told this story before. She didn't say you're going to be an actor. She didn't say you're going to make, movies, you make millions of dollars and all that. Make a long story long, 1982, I was filled with the Holy Spirit. It just wasn't ready. Going back to your question. Rationalize, justified, if you will, what I was doing by speaking through my work. I asked the pastor, Bishop Blake, I said, well, do you think, I told him that story, I don't know how many years ago, and you think I should be a pastor? What she told, she said, no. He said, no, you have your pulpit. So I always looked for that, for lack of a better word, angle. What's the story? That the only thing I wrote on the cover of Training Day was the wages of sin is death. I had the end of that film changed. In order for me to justify living in the worst way, I had to die in the worst way. He died in a very small way in the script. But I purposely wanted him to be knocked down on the ground and crawl like a snake. I purposely wanted everyone in the community to turn on him, and I wanted him to die in the most violent way. So for many, many years and decades, I did that through my work and through my philanthropy and through being a good guy and all of those things. That's not the case anymore. What my mother said to me was, Denzel, you do a lot of good, but you must do good the right way. She said, you know what I'm talking about. Can't buy your way in. Can't love your way in. You gotta serve. You gotta do the right.
From Training Day to Malcolm X, Denzel has built his career on raw talent, discipline, and a steadfast refusal to conform. Even when receiving the AFI Life Achievement Award, he remained humble and composed, staying true to the values that shaped him.
I'm up here to say thank you to God for giving me this ability, for blessing me, for shaping me, for chastising me, for teaching me, for punishing me, for allowing me to be a vessel and touch people around the world. I want to thank AFI, Cicely Tyson, Ed Wick, Spike Lee, Carl Franklin, Alan Nirov. My mother, she's 95 years old now. She's something else. She's tough. Everything ends because I'm your mother, that's why. Shut up. Still, the other day, because I'm your mother, that's why. Shut up. To my father, who taught me by example how to be a gentle man, the most important person in my life. 40 years. 40 years of sacrifice. 40 years of forgiveness. She taught me about faith, spirituality, love, real love, unwavering love, in spite of myself. I would not be alive without Pauletta Washington. I wouldn't be alive. Small minds discuss other people. Gossip. Good minds discuss events. Great minds discuss ideas. I was Eleanor Roosevelt. I was also Pauletta's father, my father-in-law. He was a great man. He taught me so much about what being a man really is. I want to end the night with a short video that we recorded of Pauletta's father 30 years ago that my son, Malcolm, gave me, an AFI graduate. Just a short 30-second video, and this is what Pauletta's father had to say 30 years ago.
We were put here for a reason. God created man, and God intends for us to love all mankind. And by being in a loving mood, caring for one another, that's our purpose for life. We should care for one another, and we should love one another.
In this Twitter tweet, meme world that we've created for our children, the least we can do is consider what we've done and think about the young people, the future, and individually, collectively do the best we can to try and turn this thing around. I blame no one. I look in the mirror. On the other side of it, what an opportunity we have, because tomorrow's the first day of the rest of our lives. So what an opportunity we have to practice what he preached. Good night.
Ice Cube, who has had his own battles with the industry, understands how the game is played. In a separate interview, he even called out mainstream media for manipulating narratives. Having been in the business long enough to see through the smoke and mirrors, he believes Diddy's downfall is about more than just lawsuits. It's about control.
Yo, what's cracking? You know what it is? It's a long way Ice Cube. Some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. A lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either. And what I realized is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of a club. Pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gates that we all gotta deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are. Like, it would be like, what? Who? Come on, man, stop playing. So, ever since I put out the contract with Black and White, you know, they just here and there, this and that. But it's cool now. I said that. You know, I've been working, you know, 3, 4 long time, and you know how you do with me, which is amazing. You know, plain, simple, clear. What they've been doing, you know, the NBA. Now, a lot of people might say, like, well, kid, you want to work with the NBA? Really, I don't give a fuck about working with the NBA. What I want them to do, when I say work with us, is to stop working against us. Stop doing that that we know you're doing. Mainstream media, things with it. And that's cool. We can do it ourselves, you know what I'm saying? We still can rise without these motherfuckers. We don't need them, you don't need them. So, what am I gonna do to deal with these gay people? Well, what I'm gonna do is go on the Gatekeepers podcast. And I'm gonna go talk to everybody, and get a chance to get my message out to the people. Be able to let people hear from me, And you might agree, you might not. But the important thing is, for me to go on these platforms, say what I feel about what I think. And, some people may get pissed off because I'm going to talk to everybody. Not playing. And, it's gonna be a crazy summer. It's gonna be fun. Appreciate y'all. Always support the Big Three. Hopefully I'm doing stuff that you guys need. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for people that's bored sports and want something cool like the Big Three. So here we are. Appreciate it. Much love and respect from your homeboy Ice Cube.
While Ice Cube continues to drop truth bombs, Diddy's own assistant is now revealing shocking details in a new docuseries. More receipts, more secrets. Who knows what's coming next? One thing is certain, the industry is shifting, and those who refuse to play by its rules are finally having their moment.
A former assistant to Sean Diddy Combs speaking out in a new interview with new allegations about wild parties and drug use. Eva Pilgrim is here with the story. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Michael. At this point, we've all probably heard about these infamous parties. Diddy's assistant now giving us details about what he says were called Wild King Nights.
It's official. I survived what I've been through.
This morning, new details allegedly inside Diddy's world before his shocking arrest. The entertainment mogul now behind bars for federal trafficking and racketeering charges.
It was a circus. He did whatever he wanted, and we were just at his disposal.
Phil Pines was Diddy's senior executive assistant from 2019 to 2021. He says his then boss asked him to purchase supplies for parties dubbed Wild King Nights.
We usually had a laundry list of items that included lights, alcohol, marijuana, ketamine, Molly. Those requests started to become more frequent.
Pines claims many of these parties involved younger women.
A lot of times you have him with a younger female. There's a power dynamic. A more impressionable girl is easier to reel in. Consent is between the people that are engaging in. I wasn't there in these situations to understand the consent.
The new interview, part of Investigation Discovery's docuseries, The Fall of Diddy.
My job is to shield his private life from the blood.
Pines even sharing audio he says is of Diddy telling Pines to bring him various substances during those Wild King nights.
So I need some Cialis. Can you give me 20 Xans, please?
I remember hearing the words, "Prove your loyalty to me, King." He grabbed me by the shoulders, pushed me to a girl that was on the couch.
The alleged parties similar to the infamous freak-offs detailed in the federal charges against the star, where women were allegedly forced to perform acts with Combs and others, often under the influence of drugs.
In the moment, it just felt like, what? Is this fun for him? Is this a test?
Pines bringing a lawsuit to Combs back in December accusing him of battery and harassment. Diddy has pleaded not guilty to all charges. His attorneys releasing a statement saying, no matter how many lawsuits are filed, it won't change the fact that Mr. Combs has never assaulted or trafficked anyone. man or woman, adult or.
And Diddy's lawyers also saying they are confident that the judicial process will find the truth and that he will prevail in court. And y'all, this is only the latest in a series of people who were in Diddy's inner circle going public.
So what do you think? Is Denzel truly a threat to the elites? Or is Ice Cube just connecting the dots? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. Until next time, fam, keep it real.